Då gör vi så här. Så. This is the first picture. Helleborg, our latest nursing home. It's the biggest nursing home in Västerås. It's 120 apartments. And it's built in small units with 10 apartments in each unit. Every apartment is about 30 square meters, and 1 out of 10 is a larger apartment. It's about 54 square meters. And the thought is that it should be able for a couple to live in a bigger apartment. And in this house it's 12 larger apartments, and it's I think today it's 5 couples living in the large apartments. Most of the people living in Helleborg is people suffering from dementia. The house is built. It's really 4 houses. You can see in the picture a green building in the back. That building is connecting the 3 houses with apartments. And you can see on this picture it's gardens between the houses. And all the gardens are connected. You can walk around the house freely. So. The greenhouse that's connecting the house with apartments, there we have rooms for the staff, we have a cafe and room for activities. When Helleborg was built, or when we were planning for Helleborg, all said this should be the latest technique in the house. When we planned it, we knew it would take a few years until it was ready to move in. And we said we want not to have the technique we have today, we want to have the technique that is when the house is ready. So we wanted to have the newest technique. We have a modern alarm system that give us the possibility to make individual adjustments in it, so that we could have a signal, for example, when one person was leaving the ward, but for another person, he or she could freely walk around in the house, but we would to have a signal when that person went out to the garden, because we know when this person went to the garden, someone from the staff has to go and help him or her to find her way back again. We also had the smart floor in all apartments, and I won't say anything more about that, but we have it in all apartments. And in one of the ward we have a soft floor that can reduce injuries. Looks like this. You can feel it. It's hard to describe it, but it makes that if you fall on this floor, it would reduce injuries with about 70%. And this floor, it's new in Sweden. They have it in Karlstad, Sunne in Värmland. And they have had it in a nursing home for about 3-4 years, and they are very happy with it. In Hälleborg we have this floor just in one ward, 10 apartments, and we also have it in the corridor there. When we talk about technology, about the alarm system and every other technique we have, we had a lot of instructions and education for the staff when we introduced the technique. But when it comes to this soft floor, we just thought, yes, this is very good. If someone falls on it, it will hopefully not be any injuries. And we haven't made so much fuss about it. But we discovered when we moved into this ward, we should have make a lot of more efforts to, prepare the staff about how was it working on this floor. Because it's very soft, and that makes when you have a wheelchair, you have to have larger wheel and things like that. And we haven't thought about that. And then it was a problem when we moved into this ward. But we learned everything that is new that you work with. You have to prepare the staff, and you have to make a job about it. The LC Smart floor, we have it now in Hälleborg, 120 apartments, and we are going to have it in our new buildings. We are now in the next year building a few more nursing homes, and we are planning to have the standard we have at Hälleborg idag, today, in this new nursing home too. We wanted this house to be keyless. Instead, all the doors opens by tags. And if someone not can manage using this tag, you have a meter reading in the door, above the door. So then when someone comes near his or she's door, then it opens and you could go in. We also have in all apartments a cabinet for medicine. And this cabinet we also have this lock on so that it's opened by a tag. And we also can log it so we know who has been in this cabinet. In all the bathroom, we have height adjustable toilets and basins. And we also have heating in the ceiling. Before we have this, or in other nursing homes, we know that many in the staff, they turn the hot water on 5 minutes before someone shall have his shower, because they want it to be warmer. But now we have heating in the ceiling that we can turn on a while before we went into the bathroom. And this is also highly appreciated. We have ceiling lifts in all apartments. And outside we have a bench that is heated. And this is also a very good thing, because we want people to be as active as possible. And we want people to go outside even when it's autumn and winter. And this is a possibility to sit down and have a rest, even when it's very cold outside. In every ward, it's a very big house. You see these 3 houses, and in every ward we have a possibility to throw waste away. In that big house we couldn't have that the staff should walk down to a separate room and throw the waste away. It would take too much time away. So this is a very good solution. We also have the possibility to very easily change the light between day and night. We have seen that many times when elderly people with dementia wake up in nights and they look out in the corridor and they see it's broad daylight, they think, yes, it's day, and they walk out. But now when they open the door to the corridor, they see when it's night that it isn't so light. They understand, it's easier to understand that it's night, and they go back in their room again. We use iPads for activities. It's the possibility to take pictures. Someone said you could Skype with relatives that lives far away. We have some nursing homes that use Facebook. They have groups that is not open for everyone, but it's a possibility to relatives to see what happens and to see what activities they have. Before we built Helleborg, before it was ready, we had a project about the future gardens. And in that project we would develop and find out what is important to make a garden that is good to have and can give activities all the year. And it has to be an attractive outdoor environment, and you have to have places to rest. You have to have shadows and shelter. And it should invite to activities and to smell and taste and touch when you go outside. And that has been important also in Helleborg. Here is one picture from one of the garden. Between the houses we have 3 different gardens. It's one with a Japanese theme, one English, and one farmyard. And as I said before, it's possible to walk outside. It's a fence around these houses, but when you go out in the gardens, you can walk around in all the different gardens. Now you see the greenhouse that connects all the houses. In top of this house, we have a relaxation area with a bath where you can sit in, and sauna, and a winter garden. A lot of glasses, you can see it when you sit up there, you can see out over the city, Västerås. And on the bottom floor, we have a cafe and a small garden outside that too. And we also, near the cafe, have a large room for activities where they can have dance or see a movie or something like that. And also in all the wards, one ward with 10 apartments, the apartment is rather small, so it's a common dining room and living room. And in that living room there also is that fire you can see there. It's a fire, I can't explain it technical, but it's water, so it's not a real fire. But the sense for the people here, I've heard some of the staff that were telling us that one lady stand in front of this fire and held her hands on it for it and said it was warm and nice.
It's actually warming, Erika. It gives a little bit warm out also.
Yes, it gives.
Sorry, I'm breaking.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that one because when we did the commissioning on the project, this one was on.
Okay.
We were sitting very close to it, and we thought it was so cozy.
Good. But what I could say more about this, this was a very large project, and we moved into this house before it was, what should I say, before it was ready. One house was ready, yes, and then we moved into it. But they were still building the other houses, and that was a rather utmaning. It was a challenge to move into this house when it was still a working place for the builders. We moved into the first house in November 2014, and we moved into the third and last house in March 2015. So it's so about 1 year we have lived in this house now. And I can also say that it's a lot of technique in this house, but we also have this, we have noticed that it's not just the technique it's important, it's the methods. If it's 20% technique, it's 80% methods. I think I stopped there.
Okay.